coming up today on Studio 13 Live. Former NFL star Michael Oher filing a big lawsuit over the story featured in The Blind Side. What he says really happened between him and the Tui family.
Plus, we're getting a sneak peek of the production of Das Rheingold with the Seattle Opera, a story based on Norse mythology, which also inspired The Lord of the Rings.
And the Linwood Luau is this Saturday. We're getting a special performance from one of the featured dance groups, Sunshine from Polynesia. Studio 13 Live starts right now.
I wanna see you smile, take you another mile. Don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait today. It's happening all around, like sunshine through the clouds. I'm gonna make your day.
Hey there, thank you so much for being here with us today. I'm Carly Henderson.
And I'm Mireya Garcia. You know, we're starting on a bit of a difficult note here. Seahawks family, rest of the NFL, all mourning the loss of former running back Alex Collins. He was drafted by Seattle in 2016, later making a name for himself with the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, that's right. So Ravens coach John Harbaugh called him a joy to be around, who had an uplifting spirit that impacted every single person that he met. He later returned to Seattle, becoming the team's lead running back with Chris Carson being out. He died from a motorcycle crash over the weekend at just 28 years old. That is so young. That breaks my heart. He left such a positive impact on so many people.
Yeah, absolutely. It's heartbreaking news, but you can really see exactly the kind of impact he had on so many people. And I know, earlier we were showing a video of one of his most iconic dances that he used to do when he would, make a touchdown. And the guy loved to have fun, and he clearly will be very missed.
Absolutely. All right. Former NFL star Michael Oher says that the story of the Blind Side movie based on his life is not all that it's cracked up to be. This one is wild. So according to ESPN, he was never actually adopted by Sean and Leanne Tui. Instead, he says that they tricked him into a conservatorship. He says it included signing away the legal authority to use his own name in business deals after he turned 18. And a petition filed in Tennessee claims that the Tuis used the deal to gain millions in royalties from The Blind Side. So if you remember, the movie kind of tells the story of Michael's journey to getting an NCAA scholarship and eventually into the NFL with the help of the Tui family. He's now looking to end that conservatorship, which still exists, and he wants them to be barred from using his name or likeness. Now, the family told the Daily Memphian that the conservatorship was to ensure Michael was eligible to play football at the University of Mississippi, adding that this has actually devastated the family.
Interesting. Look, I can see maybe if that's really true why they made that choice, but my question would be, why wouldn't you dissolve that once he's done playing for a university? Because, I can see the place that conservatorships have, in families and in the world, but more often than not, we're seeing a lot of instances where people are getting taken advantage of using these.
Yeah, definitely. The more I hear about conservatorships, I'm like, I feel like these should be used very sparingly because so many people are getting taken advantage of. I feel like we have no reason to believe that he's lying in this situation. I believe what he's saying here. Absolutely wild story. So many people loved that movie too. I remember watching it. That movie was all the rage. Sandra Bullock starred in it. What a hard month she's having too.
Absolutely. Oh. I read, they say never read the comments, but I read a few of the comments under these stories here. And I feel like what I'm really not liking is this idea, from strangers on the internet, who cares about that, right? But this idea that he needs to shut up and be grateful because they helped him in the past. No, if things are not working out and there needs to be some sort of justice played out, that's something that he should strive for, And if they can work it out, that would be so wonderful for everyone involved. But I think this idea that you just need to be quiet and be grateful because someone helped you one time is so harmful.
Well said.
All right. Well, Beyonce, on to wilder news here. Beyonce taking a stance, a very clear one, when it comes to Lizzo. During the Renaissance World Tour stop in Georgia, Beyonce gave Lizzo a shout out. This is after, of course, reinserting Lizzo's name in her Break My Soul Diva remix. Beyonce shouted, "Lizzo, love you, Lizzo." Okay, so this moment was actually recorded by several fans who then posted it on social media. This, of course, comes after there was some speculation. We even talked about it here on the show that Beyonce was shading Lizzo by removing her name from the track, which lists powerful women vocalists after those sexual harassment allegations were made against her. It just really happened at around the same time. But you know, when we were chatting with TMZ at the time, they said that it could have been about something else. Now it kind of seems like maybe it was.
Yeah, it was just a coincidence.
Yeah.
It's weird. Those coincidences don't always happen, but it seems like this one was. You know, I think it's interesting that, you know, Beyonce kind of made her opinion clear about this, because there is a lot that we all who aren't involved in this lawsuit don't know about the situation, right? That Beyonce wasn't involved in, we're not involved in. So I just think we need to kind of let it play out in the court of law more than the court of public opinion. And after, you know, the case is closed, then we can all throw out our opinions. But for right now, that we just gotta kind of like let this play out.
Right, and it'll happen.
Yeah. Are we telling Queen Bee what to do here?
Oh, never, my
Let
queen.
it play out, Beyonce. All right, Paris Hilton, early 2000s queen here. She is facing backlash over her Maui vacation just days after devastating wildfires ripped through the community there. So according to Fox News Digital, Paris was on the island to help her uncle, who lost his restaurant to the fire. A source says that Paris has been traveling to Maui since she was born. It's basically a second home for her. What was originally a family trip turned into an opportunity to gather supplies and donate to local shelters and people in need. It's unclear when exactly they arrived on the island or how long that they plan to stay. A little bit of a weird look.
It is a weird look. It is. I mean, look, we all know the devastation in Lahaina. So if she really was there to help her uncle, or maybe she had planned to go and then decided to stay and help, I get it, but it's so difficult because you're hearing from so many locals, you know, sobbing, saying that it is additional trauma, additional heartbreak to see tourists that are swimming in the waters that their community ran to try and escape the flames.
Yeah.
You know? So I think, yeah, you're right. Even though she might be there for good reasons, it's a complicated look.
It is, and you know, everyone who is traveling for non-essential travel is asked to leave, right? I think people aren't also talking about the fact that there's a paparazzo taking her photo on the beach too. So that's like not just Paris Hilton that maybe looks like she's doing something naughty.
Yeah, I think
you know
it's just that she's such a recognizable person. But you're right. We have to recognize that there are a lot of people there that maybe should go home.
Yeah, for sure. Billy Porter sharing how he really feels about Harry Styles making history by being the first man to appear solo on the cover of Vogue. So in an interview with the Telegraph, Billy says that Harry landed the cover because he's, quote, white and straight. So here's a look at the cover that we're talking about. Billy says that he doesn't really blame Harry for the decision, adding that, you know, he'd rather call out the gatekeepers than those who just happen to fit their standards.
You know, I don't know if Harry has ever spoken publicly about whether he's straight or not.
He has not said it explicitly.
Okay.
He's kind of avoided the question.
Yeah, but I think we can all recognize that he has certainly made, you know, an even bigger splash in his career by what some people call queer baiting, but we don't actually know because he hasn't said anything, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it gets a little complicated when we start to make assumptions, but I can understand, you know, why he would be frustrated.
Yeah, I can understand why he's frustrated. I do think it maybe comes off a little bit better because this was like 3 years ago that this magazine cover came out here. And it was interesting. I was reading about it this morning. And, you know, Billy said that Anna Wintour, you know, editor-in-chief of Vogue, said that she asked him how Vogue could do better. And this is what he told her. He said, to uplift the voices and degendering of the fashion movement. And then 6 months later, like Harry Styles was on the cover. So I hope Billy will get his chance, his moment to shine.
Absolutely.
Too.
He deserves it. Yeah. So people close to the Hollywood strike told the LA Times that the discussions last week, Carly, they did not go well. They didn't go well.
Reruns for a while more.
I know. The WGA allegedly asked for a health care benefit extension and the right for its members to honor other unions' picket lines. And then after more than 100 days of being on strike, financial losses, those are being felt across the board in the entertainment industry at this point. But the group remains firm in their fight over residuals for streaming content. That is just such a major, major issue. There's also the issue of minimum staffing for production and restrictions on artificial intelligence. And these are like three major talking points that, you know, the studios don't really seem to want to budge on.
They have to, though. Everybody has to come to an agreement because nobody wants Hollywood to just stay shut down. We're waiting on shows.
You know, well, here's the thing, and here's just like my total non-expert opinion, is that they're willing to push it harder because all that streaming content is up. Like so many of us just watch reruns of The Office all day, you know, like, so they're really leaning hard on that, I feel like, the studios at
Did you
this
watch
point.
Parks and Rec?
I love Parks and Rec.
Did you see Lil Sebastian?
Yes, he was at the picket line.
With Aubrey Plaza.
I'm here for Lil Sebastian.
Yeah, but Lil Sebastian's there. We need to listen up. All right, streaming today on Paramount Plus. Some call it one of the greatest comebacks in music history, the 1968 TV concert from Elvis Presley. So this was his first live performance in more than 7 years, when many feared that his career was getting overshadowed by rising stars like the Beatles. It turned into one of the best performances of his career. The concert's featured in a documentary called Reinventing Elvis, and it streams today on Paramount Plus. That sounds like a cool one.
I guess, you know what? I didn't really, you know, we had Elvis in the building yesterday, but I didn't really realize that the Elvis and the Beatles really crossed paths.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Man, my grandma loved Elvis so much. She went to an Elvis concert back in the day.
Really?
Wouldn't that have just been incredible?
Oh, my goodness. Did she throw a teddy bear at him? That would have been
I don't
cute.
know, but I'm going to say no, because we're not supposed to throw things.
Oh, that's right. I think before you could, but not
Soft
anymore.
things.
Soft things are fine. Oh, what a cool story.
I know.
That's very cute.
Epic.
All right, coming up on Studio 13 Live, who doesn't love a little vacay? How remote workers are making the most out of working virtually.
Yeah, and new concerns over AI. Jody and Bender from Mornings on 95.7 The Jet. They're going to be joining us next to explain how experts say that AI could put your security at risk. We'll be right back.
Today, it's happening all around.
There have been growing concerns about AI and if it's actually safe. Turns out there is a new way AI could put you at risk.
And joining us now to chat a little bit more about it, our friends Jody and Bender from Mornings on 95.7 The Jet. Hi, what is going on here?
Hey guys.
Jody, tell them.
Well, it's not great news,
Okay.
but brace yourself. So a group of scientists taught AI how to hack passwords
Okay.
just by listening to your keystrokes. Listening to keystrokes on a Mac laptop, by the way, further research shows. They said that this is not great news because if hackers got a hold of this intelligence, they would be able to, like if you were sitting at a Starbucks and you were typing on your computer and somebody was using this AI program, they would be able to tell just by your keystrokes what you were typing in. And the AI was 93% accurate.
Oof.
Oh,
This is
Which is
so
insane.
rude.
I didn't really know there were different tones to the keystrokes.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess
Well,
I didn't think about
apparently
it
there
either.
is.
Wow.
Apparently it's not only tones to keystrokes, but how long your fingers linger on each key.
Oh.
Apparently there's some sort of formula way to figure it out. It's beyond us, but yeah, it's not great news.
I can't handle anyone telling me to make a more complicated password than we already have to do.
Yeah.
It's so hard to remember. I don't want to have to think about this too.
I want
Well,
to know. I want to know why science has gone full villain. Like, come on.
The way they say you can beat this one is by pre-programming in your passwords into the websites that you're going to be using in public. That's one way you can beat this one. But also, you know, let's just let it go and live our lives and hope that nobody's stealing our passwords.
And hope for the best. All right. Let's go on to this topic here. It turns out people aren't saying LOL, lol that much anymore. There's a new acronym in town. What is this?
so we're going to go from the hard-hitting AI is rising up to take over the world and moving in to the acronym. So LOL is gone, Raffle is gone, LMAO is gone. Now it's IJBOL.
IJBOL.
IJBOL?
IJBOL. I just burst out laughing.
Oh,
Okay.
That seems a little long-winded.
Now, before you guys start, poo-pooing the new acronym, just know that it is heavily, I guess, it's been closely associated with celebrities, including
Taylor
Taylor
Swift. Oh, maybe I'm changing my mind about it.
How do we know what she's texting?
That's true. That is true.
says it's been, it was closely related to Nicki Minaj, who fell back in her chair with laughter during a live stream and Taylor Swift, who laughed loudly into a microphone on stage, surrounded by cheering fans. So I don't know how one makes the jump to the other, but if you're on the fence, Taylor uses it, so there you go.
All right.
Well, I'm still using my little laugh cry emoji that is apparently outdated, but I'm down with it. Hey, what about this? A survey may have figured out the key to happiness. Tell us about it. We want to know.
Well, it's the key to better well-being. And this one I actually love because I do this. Researchers for Gallup are saying that your well-being is tied to how many people you say hello to in your neighborhood on a regular basis. They said adults in the U.S. who say hello to multiple people in their neighborhood have much higher well-being than people who greet fewer or no neighbors. So if you're a recluse, but you live in a neighborhood where there's other people, you got to check yourself and maybe start making some friends. Even a head nod or like a wave will count as a greeting. You don't have to stand and talk to them for 20 minutes.
What about a pet of a dog? Because I do a lot of that in my neighborhood.
Oh, well, that's cute. Yeah.
Yes, a pet of a dog is good. What's funny is that when you look at this graph that they have, the more neighbors you greet, the higher your well-being until you hit 6, and then you start going downhill.
Then it's a job.
Too many.
Yeah, sure. 6.
Then you have problems. Then you're probably an annoying person. You know?
Okay, so you guys, though, we're not going to be seeing you for a while. What is happening?
Well, I mean, yeah, we're going to be off for a couple of days here on the radio, and unfortunately for you guys on TV, I am taking my daughter to college.
Oh.
So, got a little road trip. She's graduated. We're now heading down to, she'll be at Chapman University as a film major. So we're heading down, and it's a road trip that I'm going to take extremely slow as I'm trying
slower in his life.
as long as I possibly can. But as you can see, my T-shirt, I don't need Google. My daughter knows everything.
And I'm sure she does. Yes.
All right. Thanks, friends. We'll talk to you soon. It's a good reason to be off, but we look forward to having you back pretty soon.
We'll miss you guys.
See you guys soon. And don't forget, you can catch Jody and Bender weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. on 95.7 The Jet.
And still ahead on Studio 13 Live, we are taking you to the wild side of Zillow with a house fit for aliens, UFO included.
Oh boy. And up next, how about an unasked for seat swap? Why one man and his girlfriend's date to the Barbie movie have gone viral.
I'm gonna make your day.
Ashley Olsen is starting her own full house. She is now a mom. According to TMZ, she gave birth to a baby boy named Otto. I love that name.
So cute.
I know. This was in New York, actually a few months ago, if you can believe that. This is Ashley and her husband, Louis Eisner's first child. The couple kept it all under wraps until now, and Ashley and her twin sister, Mary Kate, of course, they've been out of the spotlight for a while because they were in it for like a decade. Then they took a step back from acting to focus on their very cool fashion line. How cute, and to be able to keep it sort of a secret.
Yeah, I'm really impressed. I'm really happy that she got to have that experience too, especially after the intense paparazzi coverage. Remember those early 2000s, like Perez Hilton days?
Not great.
He was not nice to the Olsen twins. So I'm glad that she got to just have this peaceful little pregnancy out of the public eye. Good for her. People who work remotely are now taking something we're calling hush trips. So it's when people go on vacation, but because they work remotely, they just continue to work. The thing is, 1 in 6 people use a virtual background to trick their employer. A study found 44% of Gen Zers said that they've taken a vacation without their employer's permission or using PTO. So more than half of hush trip takers say that they've traveled to another state for vacation.
Okay, I don't get why we need to lie about that though. Like if you really are a virtual worker and your work is not being affected, what is the problem?
Tax liability. I think that's the main reason that employers care. I don't think it matters objectively. I think that's why they care. I know someone who, when we were shooting everything at home remotely, right, went to another country and would get up, and she brought her entire set that we had behind us. She took it with her, and then would get up in the middle of the night to like shoot these entertainment videos that we did. But I was like, look, she's working hard for it. I see no problem. She's getting her work done.
I also have a friend who's actually still works remote, and she spent, I believe it was 2 months in Mexico City. Her employer was on the ball though, like they knew. But it was wonderful because she did her job as one does. Yeah. And then, you know, at 5 o'clock or the end of the workday, she got to go explore for a few hours.
Sounds great. Yeah. Sounds like the future.
I like it. Maybe not for us, but for somebody.
We want it for you.
Yes, we do. And hey, with football season here, you might want to prepare yourself. A new Ticketmaster poll found that the average fan spends about 46 hours a month. I had to read that a couple of times. 46 hours a month thinking about their team. 1 in 4 admitting to skipping somebody's birthday party to watch their team play. Do you have a big football fan in your life, Carly?
I know my mom watches football. My brother watches football. I hope they don't spend this much time on it. That's like multiple hours in a day.
It is.
You know, what about you?
Well, you know, in my home, we like football, but no major fans like this. I do think that if you're involved in maybe like fantasy football, that probably takes up a little bit more of your time. But I am surrounded by a lot of football fans, and I think that, you know, we all just kind of like, the game will be in the background. Like we'll all be hanging out, but the game is in the background because it is something that's important to them.
As long as there's good snacks, you know?
That's all I'm saying.
Let's all make ourselves happy.
All right, still to come, we're giving you a look at the Linwood Luau event, a special performance by Sunshine from Polynesia.
And up next, Starbucks announcing a summer remix menu. What twists are being taken on fan favorite drinks?
We're taking a little peek at the wilder side of Zillow. Whether it's kooky or just jaw-dropping, we are here for it. And Carly, I already know the answer. You'd go to Space Girl, right?
For 2 days, I would.
Well, you may not have to, okay? You might just have to go to Utah, apparently. Check this out. Aliens have made their way to Hurricane, Utah. Zillow Gone Wild, featuring this on Twitter. It is an 8-bedroom, 8-bathroom house that has everything from spaceship sleeping quarters, screens that show Earth from space, and a UFO in the living room.
Okay, that's super chill. They even have Space Invaders arcade games, an indoor slide. And I mean, at least the aliens know how to party in this hangar. This house is on 0.31 acres of land. It's currently listed at $1,890,000.
Wow.
There's a lot of like blue and gray colors in there. Not that that's the weirdest thing, but
right?
just
Oh, is that what bothers you?
The color scheme's not for me. I'm fine with the UFO in the living room.
This has to be like some, I mean, it's very expensive, but like some sort of investment property where you can like put it on Airbnb or something. Because why would you just live like that?
That's really smart.
I don't know, unless you're really into aliens.
People's homes are so different than you would think. Just by knowing them out in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. You never know if they're going home to an alien.
So we're going to change the colors to a more minimalistic palette, and then you're down,
and
right?
And then I'm down. Okay. I got you. If you spot a wild Zillow listing, I hope you let us know. You can send us a message on social media at Studio 13 on Fox. I want to see those.
I know. All right. Well, Netflix is actually testing out cloud-streamed video games in select markets. So there are 2 new titles. It's called Oxenfree and Molehue's Mining Adventure. They are the first to be streamed on a PC or a TV. I'm trying to get a close look at these, see if they look cool or not. I can't tell. So the new feature, that's available on some TVs and devices such as Amazon Fire and Chromecast, as well as the Netflix website. You know, I was around, you know, I was dating my now husband in the days where you had to go buy the box. and it was $60 a game.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if this would be like cheaper, do you think?
Oh yeah, I think it would be cheaper for people who play video games. I just hope the price wouldn't go up for people who don't play video games, because video games are really expensive. I do think it's smart though of Netflix to kind of diversify their catalog.
Yeah,
especially as
absolutely.
everything's changing so much.
I know. Interesting. We'll
Maybe
see how
it's
that
easier
grows.
for like AI to create video games too. You know?
AI.
Always, always. Okay. Starbucks announced a new summer remix menu. 3 new drinks are coming to us. So each drink takes a little twist on an already existing fan fave. So these are the drinks: iced chai tea latte with matcha cream cold foam, chocolate cream cold brew with caramel syrup, and blended black tea lemonade. Those sound really sweet. I want to try the blended one though. I haven't had it. I know they also have like a strawberry acai blended drink if I'm correct. I would like to try the blended drinks. And I remember from my Frappuccino ordering days that you could tell them more ice, less liquid, and get like the perfect, to me, slush.
Nice. These sound pretty good, but honestly, I'm so boring now. I just like order black coffee, splash of cream. What a boring
Seems so
girl.
cool though.
Oh yeah, you know, just me being cool. That's what I'm known for. But these look fun. So if you're into it, go ahead. Why not? Hey, a man's date to the Barbie movie has people arguing online, but it's not what you think it's about, okay? So he posted on social media saying that his girlfriend bought middle seats in the middle row of the theater, but when they got there, a woman and her daughter were sitting in their seats. The woman said that when she bought her ticket, the only seats left were in the front and another in the far back, so not even together. So she proposed swapping seats. The man politely told her no, and they eventually moved. So what would you do in this situation?
I would say no.
Yeah.
I bought my seat.
Yeah.
Like, she was just trying, the audacity, you know, and entitlement of this person to be like, well, there wasn't a good seat, so I'm sitting here. So that's clearly someone else's seat. You have assigned seats in some theaters.
The way there are just so many people that try this game out, my goodness.
I know.
Oh, and then try to make you feel guilty about it too. I'm not a fan, not a fan. Yeah, I feel like it would have been hard to say no, especially if it was like a cute little child, but I would have said no too.
Yeah. Sorry, don't ask us. If you needed a good reason to take it easy today, some good news for you. It's National Relaxation Day.
Oh, good. Bye.
This is great. All right, we're going to take naps now. This day is meant to remind people to take a break, you know, find a little time to unwind and help avoid burnout. Doctors say that making time for relaxation can decrease stress and improve your overall health. So it sounds like you got to schedule in relaxation. It seems like anti-relaxation.
Yeah.
But what would you say is your go-to way to relax?
Well, I mean, like, if I'm being really honest, it is like totally disassociating on TikTok for like 3 hours. But when I'm trying to be really, really healthy about relaxing, I actually really enjoy a short, brisk workout, right?
Okay.
Because that like helps me de-stress, even though it's hard. And then like watching something cool on TV. So like mixing it up a little bit.
The working out does not sound relaxing to me. I'm into the disassociating as well.
Yeah.
I'll be just watching a reality show. Like this week I've been watching The Ultimatum. But the thing is, I really only do that during the week after work when I feel like I've like earned it. I have a weird thing where I feel like I have to earn laying around like a blob.
Yeah, you can do that anytime. I do it all the time.
But on the weekends, I feel like I need to be like out moving around. And so I'll do more like active kind of outdoor stuff that it's still relaxing, like going for a bike ride. I know that's not relaxing to
That
you.
is would be my nightmare. But you know, the paddleboard, that sounds like relaxing.
I feel like I'm always talking about it, but it really is so
It's
relaxing.
so good.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a good mix for you.
Well, you know, a lot of people have these bucket lists. They like to check things off of one thing at a time, okay? And John Russell says that he's always wanted to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. How about that for a bucket list item? And apparently wanted to take his sons with him, so he did. The mountain is the highest peak in Africa. You're seeing pictures that they shared here, and the world's tallest freestanding mountain as well. So unfortunately, John was not able to make it all the way to the top of the mountain because he got acute mountain sickness at the last camp before the summit, but the rest of their party did make it to the top. Oof, that had to hurt.
That had to hurt. Really dangerous and really difficult. But I mean, I'm always so impressed when I see this. I feel like these are like the families that go run 5Ks on Thanksgiving.
Who are they? My goodness.
I don't know. I was not one of those families. We like hung out in our PJs until it was time to eat.
I know. I like that. Hey, still ahead on Studio 13 Live, we're getting a sneak peek of the Das Rheingold production with the Seattle Opera, a look at its story based on Norse mythology.
Yeah, but first we're going to be getting a very special performance by Sunshine from Polynesia, how they are celebrating Hawaiian culture at the Linwood Luau event. We'll be right back. The Linwood Luau is being held at the Linwood Event Center this Saturday, celebrating Hawaiian culture through authentic food, traditional dance, performances, drum lessons, lei making, and so much more.
And today we are joined by some of the performers of the grand finale. We have Lita, Coco, Anela, Nakaniela, and Coco. Oh, I read Coco. I'm going to say your name twice. Miley, Madeline, and Katie with Sunshine from Polynesia. Welcome, everybody.
Aloha. Thank you.
Oh, it's so great to see you all. Yeah, fantastic. Sunshine from Polynesia has been around for more than 30 years. So tell us a little bit about your performance company and what the goal is through the classes.
Well, we started over 30 years ago when my daughter was 3, and I decided she would benefit from some hula lessons. And I was dancing for many years by then. So we grew in a way that I never imagined. It's kind of by osmosis. I can't explain it. But we have people now that do all kinds of different things. Anela here teaches our music. I teach the hula to the ladies, and we have a men's teacher. And we have drumming. My husband Coco drums and plays ukulele too.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I want to know more about the different kind of styles of dancing and drumming that you teach and how they're all different.
Well, with hula, we teach the awana, which is the modern hula, and we teach kahiko, which is the older style, and chants. So kahiko means chant. So yeah, so we teach both kinds, and we teach other things through Greg, our other male teacher that teaches the men.
Wonderful. Now, you did mention that your little one was only 3 years old when she got started. So how old do you have to be to participate and learn?
3 is the starting age at our halau, and any age, all the way up to any age.
Yeah, wonderful.
Older than me.
Yeah, you still got a boogie, you
That's
know?
pretty old.
I want to know kind of when you started learning, and tell us a little bit more about why it's so important to you to kind of pass along these traditions.
Well, the aloha spirit is special to anyone who has experienced Hawaii, whether by vacationing or staying or living. And my husband is from Hawaii, which has something to do with my starting when I was 15. We met at, I was 15.
Oh, that's
In
very
Hawaii?
sweet.
No, here in Seattle.
Yeah.
His family moved up by then, and he and I met in high school. We've been together for 49 years.
Beautiful.
Don't you know?
Yes.
Yes, that's so wonderful.
I and some friends were interested in just taking hula lessons back then, not because of him necessarily, but because it sounded fun. And it just snowballed. It was ridiculous.
No, it's wonderful. And not only are we talking dancing, drumming, singing, you also have fire performers. I've had the opportunity to see that once. It is just amazing. And then we also use knives. Tell us about that.
Well, the fire performance, the Simone fire knife, is a knife that has a fire on both ends. Wow. So yes, well, that's poi balls. That is a poi ball example. And there is a picture, I think.
Yeah, we saw it. Yeah. That's
one of our fire
amazing.
people.
That's so cool.
And so that developed also in the same fashion. I can't explain it. I'm sorry. But we've gone to Hawaii, to different islands, and gotten instruction in Tahitian drumming and connected with fire people. And they came, we brought them to Seattle to do workshops. So that's just in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Anela, I knew since she was a little tiny girl. Because her mother sang for us back in the day.
I love these connections. That's so wonderful.
And I can't say that I knew Nakaniela because they married later, and now I know him.
Well, we can't wait to see, you know, just a small piece of what Sunshine from Polynesia does. And Anela, I want you to kind of tell us what the song's about.
So the song is called Hano Hano Kale Pikake, and it was sung by Keali'i Raishel, who's a very famous Hawaiian musician. It talks about the pikake lei, and basically the literal translation is talking about the adornment of the lei, how beautiful it is, the sweet smell, In Hawaiian culture, there's what's called kauna, so there's basically a little more reading into what the actual translation is, because a lei can be a person, it can be a feeling, but that's essentially what the song is about.
Beautiful, and we are so lucky to be able to take a look at one of your performances, so let's take it away.
Hano hano kalepi kake, ke ho'olale mai nei. He ini nui ko unaue ho'oko mai, I laila ko manao. He pili aku me oe, I ka polipu me hana. Hano hano kalepi kake, ke ho'olale mai nei. He ini nui ko unaue ho'oko mai, I laila ko manao. He pili aku me oe, I ka polipu me hana. Moani mai ko ala, hapuia o loko. Upua e ku'uli ai honi mau aku. I ka hanu anu hea, poni uau I ke o nauna. I ho'ohihi ai ka manao. Moani mai ko ala, hapuia o loko. Upua e ku'uli ai honi mau aku. I ka hanu anu hea, poni uau I ke o nauna. I ho'ohihi ai ka manao. Puana mai ku'ulia, ka ini o loko. He ini nui ko unaue ho'oko mai, I laila ko manao. He pili aku me oe, I ka polipu me hana. Puana mai ku'ulia, ka ini o loko. He ini nui ko unaue ho'oko mai, I laila ko manao. He pili aku me oe, I ka polipu me hana.
Oh my goodness.
Y'all are so talented.
Amazing. That was so beautiful to see. Okay. So we would love to hear what your favorite part about learning these dances is. I don't know if you maybe want to come up right here.
Absolutely. For me, the best part is just honestly the sense of community. Like, we are such a family. I've been dancing since I was very young. So like leading Coco, I've always been like parental figures to me, really. So
Beautiful.
Yeah. And I mean, this week we've been talking about it, those wildfires in Maui, so devastating. I know you probably have family there. How are they doing, and what kind of message would you like to kind of share about the
I'd like to give my
islands?
condolences to everybody that had lost their loved ones there, and it was such a tragic thing that happened, but you know, life will go on. A lot of history was gone now. It's a shame, but we'll bring it back.
Yeah.
His relatives are in haiku, so they were spared that direct hit. But, it's just devastating.
It's devastating
for
to see.
everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love that, we will move forward. I know that will happen. Certainly. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. The Linwood Luau is on August 19th from 3 to 8 p.m. at the Linwood Event Center. We do have a link with more information up on our website, fox13seattle.com/studio13live. Stay with us.
I wanna see you smile. Take
The Seattle Opera's production of Das Rheingold is running now through August 20th at the McCaw Hall. It features a 4-opera epic based on Norse mythology that also inspired Lord of the Rings.
So cool. Today we're going to be getting a sneak peek of the show with performer Pei Shin Chen and pianist Jay Rosendahl. Welcome.
Hello.
Thanks for being here. So much talent here today. I
know.
can't get over it. Okay, so there's a goddess of love, 2 giant brothers, and an enchanted gold ring. I mean, that sounds exciting.
Yeah.
Tell us all about the show and what people can expect of the storyline.
Yeah, this story is basically it's an evil dwarf named Uplift, and he's stolen the gold from the Rhine River, and he made a ring by the gold, and so the ring brings the power and to everyone. I mean, control everything, and so everyone wants this ring. So it's kind of like a war about this. So that's what it is.
It sounds very cool. And of course,
It is cool.
in case you don't know, it is in German. So talk to us a little bit about the role you play in the production and what your very cool performance is going to be like.
Yeah, the role name is Fasolt. Actually, is one of the giant's brother, and being killed at the end. Very sad, and by his brother.
Oh yeah.
So basically, I'm the one of the giant built up the big castle called Valhalla for the Wotan. So that's my character, and we want Freya, and from Wotan, which one it's Wotan promised before for our payment for our job. So that's what I'm playing in this opera.
Very cool. And I mean, you are an international opera singer. You're making your Seattle Opera debut.
Yes.
Kind of, before we let you perform, I want to know a little bit about your journey with your career.
Oh yes, I based in Houston. I'm living in Houston, and I'm traveling. Yes, just as you said, everywhere over the world, in Europe and America. So yeah, I like this job a lot. It's
fun.
It's very fun. Yeah. to see
Wonderful.
different people. Yeah.
And we hope Seattle has been treating you well.
Very well. Very well. I'm very enjoying the Seattle, and this is my first time to be here, and I really enjoyed the city. Beautiful city, good food.
Really
Yeah. Very impressive is the weather, so comfy, and
Yes.
makes me to think about my hometown.
I love it.
Oh, lovely.
Well, we're going to get a little sneak peek of your performance in the show right now.
Yep.
Take it away.
Sure. Sanft Schloss, schlaf dein Aug. Wir beide bauten Schlummersbar die Burg. Möcht müde nie, staute starke Stein wir auf, steile Turme, Tür und Tor, deckt und schließt im schlanken Schloss den Saal. Dort steht's, was wir stemmten, schimmert hell, bescheint der Tag. Zieh nun ein, uns zahlt die Lohn. Was sagst du? Ha, sinnst du Verrat, Verrat am Vertrag? Die der Speer birgt, sind sie der Speer des verratenen Bundes Runen. Licht und du, nicht gefickte, Herr und hüte dich, Verträgen halte treu. Was du bist, bist du nur durch Verträge bedungen ist, wohl bedacht deine Macht, bist weise du, als witzig wir sind, Band ist uns freier für Frieden du, all deinem Wesen fluch ich, fliehe weit deinen Frieden, weißt du nicht, offen her ich und frei, verträgen so wahren die Treu.
I feel so much classier just being in their presence.
So
Oh my
classy
goodness.
now.
What was that song about?
This is the when we built up the Valhalla and the two giants brothers, we came back and to ask Wotan to give us the payment, which is a Freya. Yeah.
Ooh, very nice.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to butcher this, but das ist cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like I understood that.
Very cool. Patient and Jay, thank you so much. Das Rheingold showing now through August 20th. We do have a link with more info. You should definitely watch this one. That's on our website, fox13seattle.com/studio13live.
Thank you so much for joining us
This
today.
has been unreal. You're both very cool. Very, very talented.
Such a pleasure. Thank you.
Oh, amazing.
Go
All right.
out, make it the best day ever. See you tomorrow.
I'm gonna make your day.